Thank you all for being here today. This is actually one of my most favorite topics to cover, and when you put technology and human resources together, it's like nirvana for me professionally. I spent 25 years with Accenture in some of the line-facing roles, and then 20 years as one of the HR leads for some of the businesses there, and have recently moved into Walmart. So this is my first large speaking opportunity leading people for Walmart. And again, thank you for having me here today. I did want to have a few slides, which I know is not very digital, but I thought helpful. So this quote really, when I saw this quote, it really struck me as to what the world is like right now. You know, the world's moving incredibly fast. You've talked about it through the sessions. We talked about it at our office. We talk about it with our families. But this quote in particular, when you think about talent, whether you're recruiting the talent, you are a person looking for an opportunity, you're thinking about what the next opportunity could be, the war for talent is over and the talent has won. And I really believe that. We have moved into a time where everything is open. It's, I want what I want when I want it. And how do we, as employers, think about how to attract that talent to want to work for us? So the user experience, when you layer, okay, the war for talent is over, people are able to read everything about your company on Glassdoor. You're able to read everything about a person on LinkedIn. You're able to follow a Twitter feed. You're able to check out what they like on Instagram. You're able to Snapchat. You're able to buy things from Pinterest that you follow each other. It's amazing how much access we've given of our personal lives to our social lives, and how much that data about ourselves translates into how you want to work, how you feel about work, and what it is like to work. So this, to me, is a pretty telling thing as well. I feel like the user experience, so if you think about when you go shopping, whether it's on an internet site or on your mobile phone, the faster it is to check out, to find what you want, to be suggested what you might want to buy besides the one thing that you bought, it changes your expectation of every other site you go to. The easier it is, the more you expect every site to be easy. And if it's not easy, you want to get off that site and go find the one that is. And you may stop thinking about even who you're buying from if the sites are too similar and not easy to use. I think that is actually helping people who decide about employers what the work environment is that they would like to have in their environment. So if you are working in a company that doesn't give you that immediate gratification about something that you're trying to find, whether it's how much vacation time you have, what's the latest about my company in the press, the easier it is for a company to feed that to you as an employee, you're going to be more excited to work there. The more digital, the more mobile, the easier access that you have to talent in your company, to understand who the experts are, and how to reach them. It makes that company more desirable. So I think that the technology world, along with the being an employer, coming together and having to live to these expectations is what's going to elevate even further this competition for talent and for people to work in your company. So together, for those of you who are leading technology companies here, and for a company like Walmart where I am, it's very key that we start to work even closer together. There are lots of tools to help us be better employers on the technology side to attract our people, and I think as students who are looking for their next opportunity, you guys, this is your world. You have us here to serve you, and take advantage of that and help shape what this employee-employer relationship will be like in the future. So this is my profile. It's not meant to be there for you to read it, but I think it's to reflect. So like I said, I've been in the workforce about 25 years now, and I started as an accountant and not an HR person, and it was the ability to understand how companies made money, what I did at that company to make money, and work my way through that company that led me down the path to eventually become a human resource person. I predict that the next generation of HR leads are going to be people who either start out as technologists, start out as marketers, start out maybe as finance or accounting still, but will have to have these other skills in their toolkit that I didn't have when I started 25 years ago. But in the last 10 years, I've had to make a bet to learn how to speak the language of technology, how to understand how fast it moves, how to figure out how to communicate with potential employees, how to work with clients as they thought about how to move their technology troubles to opportunities. And I think this morning someone said either be disrupted or be the disruptor. And on the HR side of things, I enjoy being on the disrupting side. So that's why I'm attracted to this topic even more. I predict that a combination of being a marketing person with HR skills and technology will be able to be the next CEO of the company, even, let alone just the HR lead. It's an interesting time that we're at. If you can't, you could come up with the very best career framework, but if I don't have it built on a platform that's easy to access and fun to use and branded and sold the right way, it could just sit on the shelf. It might not ever get the attention. And I think that we have to realize that as HR leads, that it's going to take all those combinations of skills to be successful in the future. So a little bit, the team asked me to talk about HR and technology. And I don't think this is so different to just HR. So over the years, my profession and lots of professions have been the administrator, like the person that you went to say, I needed to take a day off, I don't feel good today, I'm gonna be out sick, and they would write it in their book and they would make sure it went down, you know, along the line. I used to have to do that and think, wow, I've got it at least all in one book, right? I'm ahead of the game. And that was 20 years ago, right? Then I went to clients, and for those of you who are my age, maybe out there might remember, I had to bring technology equipment to clients. And one of the jobs as a new staff person was to bring the printer. And the printer was like a suitcase, and I had to roll it down the street to bring it down, and it was a dot matrix, and it went, you know, it wasn't nearly what it is today. And now you want to print, I could just email it, and it'll print probably to somebody out there. So I've completely dated myself, but I promise you, I've learned a lot in those 20 years to advance my technology skills in that way. I have a 12 and a 16-year-old, so I have no choice but to stay hip to them. My daughter just made me a Spotify running list, and I love it. I'm not sure I could replicate how to do it, but she was fun to show me that. So the enforcer, that's the next click up. So HR moved from personnel administration, I'll say, to enforcer, and that means what were the laws? You know, did we hire the person in the right way? Did we take out the right taxes? Did we get the fairness of how people were treated when they were promoted? And using systems to help us be good at that, right? Because that's risk to a company. If you don't have that right, that's not, you know, you can't sustain. So it's an important thing, right, to have that operational excellence, using technology to be able to administer the things I talked about before in a quicker way, to make sure we're you know, on our standards as a company and on the standards of the laws of the land, but certainly would not put us as a strategic partner. So strategic partner is where I believe we are all headed in HR, in finance, in marketing, lots of parts of what enables a company to be successful. People analytics, strategic workforce planning, and HR tech. So right now, if Walmart wants to open in a new country, I have the ability to understand what's the talent in that country. I can do a scan of the universities, understand what other companies are there, understand what markets they're in, and be able to say, okay, you know what, we can open there because we can abide by the laws of that land, but we also have the talent pool that we can go and attract to be able to make a very successful business there. It's thinking like that and using data first and driving that all our decisions need to be rooted in data. So when you think about that, you need to have a system, you need to have the latest technology, you need to be faster than that, and for Walmart, for us to continue to win, we need to be ahead and be thinking about those things before our competition. What is the data we need? How are we going to get it? How are we going to go faster? How are we going to be more nimble and agile to use data in a way to create a decision-making framework? And for HR, that's at the very core. Some of the team is here today. and knows. There they are, yeah, table, I can't read the number, 44 maybe. They know and help me every day think about what's the data, what's the decision, and then what are we going to do about it? What's the roadmap? And you've probably heard it a million times. People, process, technology. Those may be old words, but they definitely still resonate in our world today. So careers are changing. I've studied for a bit of time here. What is it that we're doing with the people applying for our jobs? And how do we attract the very best people to apply for Walmart? Our target technology talent right now, they're out on Glassdoor, as I mentioned. You can read everything about every company, the good, the bad, what their friends thought about it, what people they don't know think about it, get really specific about their experiences. But we also have a workforce of people, and many of you are in the room, I think, here as students, that are looking for tours of duty. They're looking to go, have an experience in one place, an experience in another place, or within that company, and move and have an experience in another place, threading together what is not necessarily viewed as a traditional career the way it would have been even 10 years ago. A traditional career path for lots of people was you go to this level, then you go to this level, then you go to this level, and then I'm whatever, top dog at whatever company you're in. That's not exactly what everybody's looking for anymore, right? A lot of people want to have these experiences, and they call it tours of duty to say, I've done this here, and now I want to go try it here. So Walmart, Amazon, and Google all competing for the same talent is not just because of their skills, it's because people want to have different experiences. And we need to be freely letting people do those things. I think having people that want to work in a company for a little while and then they leave and come back, I give the best ones that I've ever met a boomerang. I'm like, you take that boomerang and you can cash it in when you're done at Amazon and come back to Walmart and be even better than you were when you were here. And you'll remember us because we want you back and you had a great experience here. So my thought process isn't like, it would be great to keep people for lots of years in one company. I just don't think it's a realistic expectation anymore. So HR, my close to heart profession. HR will soon, and I think now in many ways, be characterized by different competencies. What is big data, integration, mobility, social media, gamification, and cloud computing. Just to highlight what I mean by that. So gamification is something that, I don't know, how many of you play Minecraft? Or have kids who play Minecraft? The arms should go even higher, right? That game has taken this country the world by storm. But people love to play it, right? They love to play Minecraft, or they love to play whatever they like to do. It is a way of refining what skills people have. So as an employer, it's more fun, I think, for people to feel like they're playing a game, whether it's in a learning environment, right? You're building skills, you get to the next level, you get to the next level. Right now I'm using Headspace. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that. It's a mindfulness app, and you do 10 minutes a day of meditation, basically. But I can't get to the level 2 until I finish level 1, so I'm competitive with myself to get to level 2. It's the same thing. They've created a game so that I would keep going. We have the same thing in human resources to think about learning and development, how people want to learn. They want to learn fast. They want to learn their way. They want to learn on a handheld or mobile way, and gaming helps to do that. And it's a more fun way of tracking it. The other thing I love about using gamification that we've been working with at Walmart is how people come through the interview process. So technology isn't just about being on the edge and thinking about new things. Technology can take out cost. Technology can take out the manpower we need from doing administrative tasks to doing more strategic tasks. So gamification is another example where you could have potential employees go through a series of technology games that would say, okay, you know what, you passed the next level, you're certified for the next level for an interview because you have those fundamental skills, particularly in technology, to show that you have this aptitude for it. I also think technology is a really good tool for us to take the bias out of some of the interviewing that happens. So, diversity and inclusion, as Meredith mentioned, is something that's really important to me. When you have 2 resumes in front of you, are there ever biases between what you read and what you see and then how you might react? As a human, I guess we all, have to admit we have have biases. When you use technology to think about screening some of those resumes, it takes the bias out. The machine takes the bias out. Now you need to have the human factor come in at the next point, right? Because there is the personal touch. There is the ability to look someone in the eye and see, are they a cultural fit? Are they really able to do the job that you're looking for, or be on the team that you've asked them to be on? So it's this combination of using technology and the human behavior. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Walmart too. You've probably read recently the 3-year plan that we've put out in October, where we will be the first to deliver a seamless shopping experience at scale. So what does that mean? It's a pretty amazing opportunity and goal for us. It means that wherever you shop, whether it's on your phone or your laptop or iPad or in the stores, you will have a very fast and easy experience. And when you think about the numbers of customers that we have, that's a really big goal. And it's, I think, one that's very achievable when I see the trajectory that we're on right now. The other thing to think about when we say seamless experience is that we will also always look to save the customer time and money, and soon they should be not even thinking about which way they're shopping with Walmart. Is it the phone or the iPad or in the store? They'll just know that they're shopping at Walmart because the experience was fast, easy, and delightful. So with that goal, we have quite a need to bring some pretty heavy technology skills in. We need to bring in user experience skills. We need to bring in not just technology talent, we need the very best merchants. We need the very best leaders to make sure that we hit this goal. And this is a picture that I love. The one on my right here, my right, is from a hackathon here in Bentonville, where we had a number of students come in and work on some business problems and hack to try to break them and solve them. And it was really fun to always think about how new ways of thinking about things and the fun experiences a hackathon brings. I don't know if, I'm sure many of you attended a hackathon, but it's a really, really fun thing to do. And then the other picture is from a group of new hires in San Bruno, which is where our Walmart Labs is located. And I happened to be there with Karen Ann Terrell. You may have met her. She's our CIO who lives here too. It's really exciting to see these groups come together and what they've been able to build. Our app is the third most traffic hit of retail, and I give these guys a ton of credit for how that's happened. So how do we at Walmart think about attracting talent? It's a lot of what we were talking about before, where I think people, as I said, have choice about where they want to work. And Walmart is making sure that that choice is clear, that you can work at scale in a company that matters, that cares about other people and wants to make the world a better place, and get to do these excellent technology projects that will change not only Walmart, but change a whole industry. So we offer great opportunity there. And then we do have a very special flashlight, shine light on women in technology, where we work closely with women in STEM, and have been pretty proud to say that our number of women corporate officers is well ahead of the Fortune 500. And we enjoy the mentoring. Last night I was actually at a mentoring circle where we not only got to talk to each other as women executives, but we also got to support the American Cancer Society. So it was fun to come together to do good and talk about what's getting us all charged up in Walmart and technology. We have a really robust internship program that's very competitive. We had over 60% more intern applications for this coming summer, so we are excited about that. We have also been able to select from very great talent. We probably accept, I think, 2% of the applications that we have, because we have such a large number of applicants for this technology work in San Bruno and here in Bentonville, that I like to say we're hiring the very best. And our recruitment culture is one that it's not just on HR or the recruiters to do that. It's on everybody that works at Walmart. We're all out talent spotting and talent seeking. Right now, I'm going to go find you guys. It's important. It's important that we all have a recruiting mindset. I think, as I said, the talent has won, and we need to convince all of you that working at Walmart is where you want to be, because you can do everything you want to do professionally in a place like Walmart. So some of the things that we're specifically doing, and I think this translates into the topic of HR, technology, and the user experience. These are three of the key areas of focus right now that I have. So developing leaders. We have got to help our leaders be more effective. It's hard to manage people of multiple generations. It's hard to manage people who don't have all the same skills. And I feel like we have such a great opportunity to develop people who have been leaders in their career, someone 25-year veteran to someone who's just taking on supervisory experience and learning how to manage people and think about how to get the very best out of their work, but also get to the company goals. And one of my key focuses is to make sure that we're developing those leaders for the future, that they have the toolkit to lead people who have a digital experience. And a digital experience isn't just about being in technology. You have to have a digital, conversant digital skills, I think, for almost anything you're gonna do in business now. The next generation behind millennials is, sometimes people call them Generation Z or I generation. They're the generation that's gonna know the world only with the internet. So there's no way in any role you play that you can't help but have to lead a team that's gonna think digitally. Acquire and grow capabilities. I've been talking all about that for the last few minutes. We have to really get sharp on how we are growing our capabilities and attracting the very best, whether it is our advanced analytics, our data scientists. Sharon Wibbett and I were talking about artificial intelligence yesterday, that we have the very best ability to attract the best talent in those emerging technologies, and then try to have foresight of what it's going to be next in 5 years or 10 years, because to recruit just for now or to build just for now is not going to be where Walmart needs us to be. We need to be 10 years from now. Like, who's that competitor that's coming that we've never even seen or heard of, and try to get ahead of them and disrupt them instead of being the disrupted. I like that sentence. And then strengthening our culture. Walmart has a very strong and important culture that, whether you think about technology or you think about any other disruptor, that will never go away. So I think that we have to evolve the culture so that we have our strong beliefs, but rooted in modernizing them. And our core values are simple. They're respect for the individual, they're strive for excellence, they're act with integrity, and they are to be serve the client. So that's pretty basic stuff. But how you bring respect for the individual to life in a modern way is what we have to do in our company. So I think of things like respect for the individual as giving people direct feedback, right? Not sugarcoating it, giving them direct feedback, but being true to what our culture is all about. So those three areas are my key areas of focus, and I think are broad enough that they can help us accelerate into the future. So one of the other things I would love to have you think about as I thought about this topic is we are in a space where technology is disrupting us, and we are disrupting industry, and we are disrupting even our comfort level with how we are working, how we're interacting with each other. Like I said, sharing information across without even thinking about who might have access to what we've just put out on the internet, which is probably one of the biggest fears as a mom, right? I think about all the time. But it's actually, if you embrace it and protect it enough and feel good about what is being shared, the power of coming together around HR, technology, employee, employer, colleague to colleague would create it's a limitless opportunity for our world, for a company, for our society. It just needs, for us to be sensible about that. And I really look forward to what the future will bring with this. I look forward to sorting through who will be my successor someday and what background they will have, because as I said, I don't think it's the way I came up through the world here. It will be someone who's out there, and maybe it's one of you who's coding the next great code on GitHub, or thinking about how to create an experience that is delightful and amazing for some product that you're working on and hadn't even thought about doing that for HR. So I would love to hear more from many of you about your thoughts on where this industry will go and what the skills will be to get there. So with that, I want to thank you for your time and appreciate all you're doing out there in this space.